All right, friends, the wonk here. So let's talk about tanking real quick. Tanking is pretty wild in World of Warcraft, and it is needed. There's always a need for tanks. If you're the type of player that just wants to hop on for like 30, 45 minutes when it's pop into a dungeon real quick, tanking is the way to do that because you basically get instant queues. It is really satisfying. If you've been playing DPS for quite some time and you just want to hop in for a while, do a quick dungeon, but you just have to keep waiting for those queues, this will pretty much save you so much time in getting that fulfillment within World of Warcraft. So let's just dive right into it. So the one thing about tanking is building confidence. Building your confidence is like the #1 priority in learning how to tank. Getting confident, which requires just a lot of practice. We'll get to that soon. And also getting over the tanking anxiety hump can take some time. I've been tanking for quite some time now, a few years. Actually, probably about like 5 now. Ooh. Probably about 5 years now I've been tanking pretty much. Before that, I was a ranged DPS for many years, but I kind of got sick and tired of having to always wait and rely and depend on a healer or a tank. So I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna learn how to tank. All right, so really help build your confidence and get rid of that anxiety is to actually just do your research. Figure out what class you want to dive into. Check out other tanks. Go into a dungeon as a DPS and just study the tank, analyze the tank, watch their movements, see how they're controlling NPCs. That's one thing that is massive about tanking, is just learning how to control NPCs. So what you want to do is make a low level tank and level up the tank and quest and do dungeons. Dungeons as a tank obviously is a huge boost in XP, get you that max level way quicker, but also the lower the level the tank is, the easier it is for you to learn how to be a good tank. You're going to have few abilities. Those abilities are going to help you out to learn how to tank. And then as you progress through the game, leveling up, you're going to get more abilities for your rotation. So I highly recommend making a brand new tank, starting off doing dungeons right away and just learning how to do that. There's also a few tricks too. When you're in the tutorial, for instance, and you are leveling up a character, just learn and maneuver NPCs. NPCs are, you know, obviously a huge part of this game, duh. But you know, learning how to run through NPCs, running around NPCs, learning just how to control NPCs to begin with as a tank is massive, and you just need to do that. It's a priority. So practice with just 1, maybe even 2 mobs and just run around them, run through them, analyze how those NPCs move around so that you can manipulate those NPCs based on your movement. I'm telling you, it's not that bad, I promise. So a great thing to do once you're done with the tutorial as a tank, fresh tank, is go to your capital city. If you're Alliance, that's Stormwind. If you're Horde, that's going to be Orgrimmar. Go to the character Chromie. Chromie is basically the character that you go to pick what expansion you'd like to do. So I highly recommend picking the Burning Crusade expansion or picking the Wrath of the Lich King expansion to do dungeons. You don't have to quest there if you don't want to, but this is just to queue up for dungeons. Whichever expansion you choose is going to determine what dungeons that you do. So if you pick the Burning Crusade expansion, you're going to do Burning Crusade dungeons, which I highly recommend those starting off as a fresh tank. They're super fun, really easy. I just love playing them even as a tank. Also, another thing to do, just a quick tip as well, when you're first beginning the tank, express that you're a fresh tank, a new tank, you know, say in chat, be like, hey, by the way, guys, this is my first time tanking. Normally, people will understand and be like, oh yeah, totally, no problem. But sometimes you'll get, you know, that person that will not be so nice. And that just happens. It's okay. It's World of Warcraft. Also too, so another thing, doing your research. Research is highly recommended when it comes to tanking, when you're learning pathways for Mythic Pluses, when you're just trying to choose what class you would like to tank as, because there's quite a few. So I would say check out Wowhead. Wowhead has some of the best info that you can get, even outside of just tanking. They have your rotation. You can check out your spec. You can just dive into the real deep end of your class within Wowhead. Also, another great website is Subcreation. Subcreation, you can check out some of the world best tanks that are currently on World of Warcraft. You can look at their gear, their talent trees. You know, you can check out their rotation. There's a lot of lovely stuff within Subcreation. Now, if you're a tank that wants to push Mythic Plus dungeons, I highly recommend checking out Raider.io. They are excellent, great for pushing Mythic keys, so you can see the top tanks, what, you know, rotation they're using, what talents they're using, gear, etc. And this is like, you know, I highly recommend checking out the website for people who are pushing keys over 20, like 23 plus or something like that. Like it is wild. Highly recommend it. All right, so let's talk Mythic Plus dungeon runs. So one of the best ways for you to get your character the best end game content and gear is to do Mythic Plus dungeons. Now, Mythic Plus dungeons are super fun. It's one of the main reasons why I even play World of Warcraft, and tanking them just brings me so much joy. All right, so basically Mythic plus dungeons are instances that you can increase the difficulty level on for better loot. This requires a mythic key, which you will receive one at the end of every mythic dungeon that you do. A tank is always needed, so it's pretty easy to find a group consistently as a tank. Again, it's one of the main reasons why I'm even a tank. One of the best ways for you to become an excellent tank within a Mythic Plus experience at the end game of World of Warcraft is just study tanks at Mythic level. Watch what they're doing, watch how they're progressing through each dungeon that's on the season list, and just analyze them and ask them any sort of questions. I love it when people ask me questions about tanking, because then it makes me feel like I'm actually doing a good job, you know what I'm saying, which is like pretty awesome. With that said, friends, hopefully this video shows you what it's like to actually be a tank and how you can progress through and level up, like, and what to do. It is totally fine just to level up a character as a tank. I do it all the time, and I just queue up for dungeons. I don't even do quests, and it's still just super enjoyable. If you guys have any tanking questions, let me know. I have some more videos in the works. If you guys have made it through the video, thank you so much. Hit that thumbs up button, helps the algorithm, the discoverability, all that sweet stuff. We have more content coming out soon, and I'll see you guys in Azeroth. This is the Wonk, signing out.